What's going on, guys? Stock Jock here. I am up currently $251 on the day right now, and I'm going to call it a day. The market recently has just been so slow, and I'm just happy with the small win. I'm not going to force it. October has just been super slow. I don't know if it's the election. I don't know what it is, but the market's just been really slow. So take what you can. Don't try to overtrade, and wait for the next day for maybe a stock that'll do something. Today, out of the gate, was watching RLJE. This is a stock that was gapping up. It had some news out. I believe the news was based off of a loan that they were getting. So, you know, it's news, but it's nothing amazing. So, but it's enough that you might get a pop out of the open. That's kind of what I was playing. So, I was watching this over 270 for maybe a move up towards three. So we got the open. It popped up right out of the gates. I went long as it was breaking 270. And knowing that it's kind of a loan that made the news, in my opinion, that's just more debt, which isn't great news for anything. But, you know, it's news nonetheless, and it'll move the stock. I was trying to just get in and get out for a scalp. I wasn't trying to hold this for a $3 move. I was just trying to get in for the break of 270 because it's the high kind of right in here pre-market. And I thought maybe once we broke that, we'd get a little bit of move up, and that's what happened. And I got out at $2.74.5. So made basically $80 on the trade. As you can see, it hit a high at 280, but then boom, selling came in, and it just kind of sold off after that. So, but it was nice to get a nice little win early on in the day. OMER was my next trade, and the market was starting to kind of go. It went green or like barely green in the morning, and then it started to turn red, and it looked like it was going to go red for the day. And this was another stock that had just okay news. I think it was positive phase two data, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to look it up, but out of the gate, just nothing really going on. And then all of a sudden, 9:30 rolls around, and then you had this huge selling, and then you had a pop up, and then huge selling down. So I was looking for a short for the break of $8 as we got down in here. This is kind of where I went short, looking for the break of $8 and maybe a flush. So I got in short at $8.04 inside this. These two candles here is kind of where I got in, looking for that break at eight. As soon as it hit eight, a lot of people, it was probably short covering to be honest, had the same idea as I did. They started covering and the ask started getting hit hard, so I also hit the ask, got out for basically plus 4.5 cents on 2,000 shares. And as you can see, it popped up from I think the short coverings that were happening, and then the rest of the day, I mean, it's down at 750 right now. So, but that was, again, I didn't have a massive winner on my first trade, so my second trade I had to play it tight as well. Uh, if maybe I made $1,000 on my first trade, sure, maybe I would let it, you know, break eight, come back up, and maybe try to break eight again and head back down. And maybe I would have held through here. And since my first trade on the day wasn't a huge winner, I only made $80 on it. I wasn't willing to maybe hold it and see if it would pop up and then come back down and break eight and stay down. I was still, I don't have a cushion on the day, so I'm looking for the quick win and build up that cushion on the day. AZN was my next trade. It was a buyout rumor, and this was reported by Benzinga, the news source that I use. You can find the link down in the description. I'm going to pump it again. Benzinga is a great news source. I made money on this trade because of Benzinga, and I could have made a lot of money on this trade because of Benzinga had I held a little longer like I should have. So the stock was kind of down here, nothing big going on, and then all of a sudden, Benzinga reports that a rumor is that um, a company is looking to buy them somewhere in the $40 to $45 per share range. Again, these are just rumors. Some may be true, some may be not true. So I got in immediately when I heard the news at $30.31. And as you can see, the volume just came in right when that news hit. and it didn't move right away, which was fine by me because that means I got in early. And as soon as the news really started to kind of trickle in, the price started going up, up. I mean, it hit a high of 31.10, and I was in it at $30.30. So that could have been, 70, 80 cent winner. But I just sold for, 6, 7 cent scalp on the spike. Like I said, I didn't have a huge cushion on the day, so I need to build that cushion up. So I got in, got out. ARIA was brought to me by one of the moderators in um, one of the chat rooms that I subscribe to, Jason Bond Picks. So here over at Jason Bond Picks, you can see at 10:14, Bart Van got in at 8. Or I'm sorry, at 10:14 a.m. at $11.14. So, I don't usually just chase the moderators. I like to see what they're kind of thinking. And what I saw is kind of you had this huge dip down on the daily here, and maybe you're going to get some short covering coming up. You're going to get some people, buying down here just because it's cheap shares. Um, and I look at the 5 minute chart and I saw this huge spike down in the beginning, and then it came back up, and it's starting to curl here. And looking for the break of this top right here is what I assume Bart was thinking. So I kind of like the idea. I got in. Here's the 1 minute chart. You can see the spike down, came back up. Another spike down, came back up. And then this spike down made a higher low than this one. So that was kind of very bullish to me. And then on this over here, you had it come down again, but this low was higher than this low. So we have a trend of an upward trend going on. You get the same point where it's bouncing off of on the top, but the lows are getting higher, meaning the bid's coming up. And I was watching that, and there was a huge wall at 1117. I mean, probably somewhere in the range of 500,000 shares, something like that, 600,000 shares, I can't remember. But it was getting eaten up quite a bit, to be honest, which just tells me that, people are trying to hold it. Someone's accumulating, and they're trying to hold the bid down before it just pops back up. They're trying to hold the bid down and accumulate shares, and then, then they'll be fine with it running. But someone was accumulating shares. I was watching that. I got it in 1116, and it was chewing up that 117 or 1117 um, wall, but then it just stopped out of nowhere, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable with that, because as you can see, it does dip down, come back up, dip down, come back up, and I was kind of holding it at the high of day at that time, and I was just like, let's just get out of this, and sure enough, I hit the sell button. I made a penny on it, basically $10 after commissions, and as soon as I hit the sell button, boom, the market makers released it. It jumped all the way to 1138, and it came back down, and then came back up, and just boom, the rest of the day just took off, and now it's selling off to 1120. But that was a little frustrating. I had the right idea. Higher lows were being made. Flat top breakout, broke out, and I mean, 1 second after I hit the sell button, boom, someone bought the rest of that wall, and it just took off. So a little frustrating. Could have been a really nice win for me, but had to move on. So GME was kind of a head fake news play that I lost money on, and I'll explain that. So not all, news plays you're going to make money on. Some you will lose. Nothing is 100% with this market. So I was watching GME. Benzinga reported that uh, Carl Icahn is rumored to be buying a stake in GME. It should be released later today in a 13D filing, maybe on CNBC. When he goes on CNBC today, that he'll announce that he has it in. So immediately you see this volume coming in, and I bought as it was coming up, and I was green for a little bit. I got in at 25.53, and it hit a high of 57, and I was kind of looking to exit as soon as I started spiking it down. Maybe I'd get a better buy as it came back up, but I held a little too long, and I sold as it was coming back down at 25.45. Again, these are all rumors, especially when Benzinga says it's a rumor. A rumor could be maybe, I mean, you look at the daily, it's just getting crushed, right? A rumor could be just somebody making a story up out of thin air in hopes that he can get a pop and he can sell his shares as people buy up the rumor. I mean, that happens on Wall Street. Wall Street is a pump and dump. Legit, people do this. Big firms, they got people that can pass these notes around, quote unquote, notes around and create false rumors. Nothing's wrong with a rumor. It's your choice to follow it or not. So this is one case where it was kind of a head fake. If Carl Icahn did buy into this and it was a confirmed story, I mean, this stock would have exploded in my opinion. 103 million shares in the float. This and big boys would have been coming in at that point, guys with a lot of money. But this is one I got burned on. No big deal. It does happen. But I took the loss, moved on, and I think at this point I had maybe $85 on the day. So OPTT is a stock our chat room was watching. We were watching as it was coming up into certain levels, and you can see on the 1 minute out of nowhere volume started coming in. And this is a stock that can move. It's a former runner. It does like to have, I mean, look at these huge moves here on the daily. And I've traded plenty before, so I'm very familiar with it. So I missed the move, the 5 minute candle over candle, the spike here and the pullback, and then the spike as we broke this level here. That would have been a really good entry. Breaking high day, breaking pre-market high day, and then breaking $3. That would have been the entry part, but we were inside. Let's see where we are here on the 1 minute. So we had this spike. We were inside this candle over here. We had the spike and the pullback, and I was looking to play that pullback and then candle over candle and try to get that run up here, just for a scalp. This isn't kind of a play I would want to do and hold for a sustained amount of time. I'm just looking to scalp it if I'm playing the 1 minute chart. And so as we go candle over candle, I get in at 319, looking for the break of 20, and we got that, and I sold, hoping to get a better fill, but we broke 20. I saw the bid starting to get whacked, so I decided to sell on the bid at 321. Now the thing is I took 5,000 shares on accident. This is one example where it turned out to be okay, but did not mean to do that. Usually I have 2,000 shares, but there was a penny stock that had some news right before it, so I switched it to 5,000 shares and forgot to switch it back. 5,000 shares on a penny stock that's like 25 cents, that's nothing. But 5,000 shares on a stock that is up here is not in my comfort zone at all. I'd much rather do 2,000 shares. So, if the stock goes up 2 pennies, that's $40. If the stock goes up 2 pennies on 5,000 shares, that's $100. If it goes down 2 pennies, that's $100. It's not my comfort zone right now. Maybe when I get more going on, and especially late in the day, it's already extended. This is not the play I would typically take 5,000 shares on, but it worked out okay for me. Made about 2.5 cents on it, 100 and some odd dollars, and I was okay with it. So I didn't chase the move anymore. I didn't do the 1 minute chart. I was waiting for the pullback on the 5 minute, and we had a pullback, and then I was going to play candle over candle on the 5 minute, one of my favorite plays. So I got in at 314 as we were breaking 315 right here, and we got a nice little pop, went to 321, and I sold as it was coming back down for about 4 cents, got out at 317, somewhere in there, 2,000 shares, and that was my last trade of the day. Got me back, after that bad loss on the GME trade on the false news or whatever, but up $251 on the day. I'm happy with that. There were a couple bigger movers that I missed, but again, this market is just so crazy right now. It's probably because of election. Octobers are usually slow anyway. It's usually a down month, so November and December is when it should pick up again, but we'll see. If you have any questions, let me know. You can find me in Google Hangouts. Also, the links to the chat room that I subscribe to is down in the description, as well as a link to Benzinga, the news source that I use. If you use the coupon code StockJock at checkout with Benzinga, you'll get 30% off. So I highly recommend using that coupon code. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next video.